Over the past week, we've got the new release of the newest season of The Witcher, this time season 4, starring Liam Hemsworth instead of Henry Cavill, and we're going to talk about how it's doing so far.
Fuck.
Obviously, right off the bat, the biggest news for The Witcher in terms of the Netflix show is the recast of Henry Cavill after he got, I don't know if pushed aside is the right word, but he left. He was not happy with where the season was going, where the show was going, and he felt that they weren't sticking closely enough to the source material of the books, of the games. And in my opinion, I think he had that little glimmer of hope of being Superman again, so he dropped out of this. And then obviously the Superman didn't work out. They got rid of him as Superman as well after they brought him in for Black Adam. So long story short, the new Geralt of Rivia is Liam Hemsworth in this newest season of The Witcher. So it's been out since Thursday, so it's been out for a couple of days, and a few of the reviews have been coming in, and they're not looking good. They're not looking good at all. But before we talk about that, this is what I do. I talk about shows and movies. If that's something that you're interested in, consider checking out my channel, some of my other videos to see if there's anything you like. And even consider a subscription. That helps out a ton, or even a like. Any form of support means a lot more to me than you guys know. So thank you. So back to The Witcher. Witcher Season 1 was one of those shows that I was super excited about. I thought it could, me and so many other people thought it could be the next Game of Thrones. And yeah, after Season 1, I had hope. I was like, this is sick. This is cool. One problem with it is I had like the not the pacing, but the timeline is all over the place, and they don't make it super clear that, hey, Geralt is kind of this timeless being. He's old. So the show starts out like hundreds of years before, and it's going all the way through the time of Ciri. You don't really understand that the first watch, if this is your first intro to The Witcher like it was mine. After seeing the first season, liking it, and then going back, doing research into the world, picking up the book, starting to read the series, starting to play the Witcher 3 game. Then I went back to it. I understood the time jumps and kind of what the timeline was looking like, and it made a lot more sense. I had much more fun and much more of an understanding as I watched through Season 1 for the second time. And yeah, like I said, Season 1, I was happy for it. Henry Cavill as The Witcher was incredible. Ciri, I didn't mind her. Some people are annoyed by Ciri, but I did not mind her. And now we've gotten to the point where we've had a couple different seasons after that. And in my opinion, it's a lot of people's opinions, actually. It's just been going downhill since that first season, which is sad to see. Now, me personally, I read, this says book number 1, The Witcher 1. It's Blood of Elves. I wasn't a huge fan. I really wasn't. It was cool. Some parts were cool, but a lot of it was just people sitting around talking about nonsense, especially the first chapter. It's a bunch of people sitting around a tree, and then you have Jaskier, but he's like called Dandelion or something at the beginning, who's there talking about The Witcher. It's just very drawn out. The first chapter is literally, let's see. Yeah. First chapter is 50 pages long, and then you get to chapter 2, which is never great. I shouldn't have to read 50 pages to get through the first chapter. Anyways, the books, after this, I couldn't move on to the next ones. It was cool to read it. I much more enjoyed the games of The Witcher, and I think that's what a lot of people enjoy about The Witcher. A lot of people enjoy The Witcher. That's why it's called The Witcher. That's why his face is plastered in everything. But in a show like this, Witcher Season 4, when you push The Witcher into the background, you get results like this. Rotten Tomatoes, they're trying to hide the score. Look at that. You can't even see it. 21%. Let's open this up. 21% from the audience and 60% from the critics. and 33% from the top critics. This is a much more accurate representation. This is terrible. It's terrible, especially the audience. Yep, cringe fever dream. Yep. And this isn't even a diss on Liam Hemsworth. He was thrown into something that was bound to fail anyways, because they're focusing more, from what I've heard, they're focusing more on Yennefer, they're focusing more on Ciri, they're focusing more on this group of bandits called the Rats.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
Who is just this diversity team up of a fat dude, gay people, basically diversity people. Like, getting all the skin colors in there. It's like, why? Just like every other high fantasy kind of show out there. Wheel of Time being the worst of them. I didn't even watch that because just seeing the clips of it and hearing from what other people had to say about Wheel of Time, it's an abomination. It's an abomination. Something like Wheel of Time could be so good. Actually, anything, any high fantasy, whether it be Wheel of Time, the Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power show, The Witcher. These are spaces that were designed to be more so men's spaces than women. In something like the season 4 of the Witcher, and even season 3 of The Witcher, focusing on lesbian relationships, on gay Jaskier, on Yennefer being a general, kind of leading everyone. Like, when you have the focus on all these other characters, and it's not like they're bad characters. It's just that when you are going to watch a show called The Witcher, you want to see The Witcher. You want to see a cool, mythical being who's kind of ageless, kind of immortal in terms of time that he lives, or at least super duper extended. You want to see that. You want to see the cool monster fights. You want to see him taking on these different creatures, him going on these adventures, kind of like you do in the game. In the game, it's Witcher focused. You're walking around as Geralt. Sometimes you're walking around as Ciri. But it's mainly Geralt. It's mainly on adventures, fighting monsters, and then going from story to story, basically, which is entertaining and perfect for a show. But when you focus on the wrong things, you get results like this. Let's see what the top critics have to say. Yep. And then we got ING, who isn't the most reliable source, but I thought it was funny because I came all the way down here to the dude's rating, the verdict, yep. But his rating, 7, good. And then let's look at what he says. Even with the Cavill-Hemsworth shakeup, The Witcher sticks to its guns, swords, making a joke there, and delivers a decent season of magic and mayhem. 7 does not mean decent. 7 means good. 7 means good. Decent is mid. Decent is a 5 at the most. Like, even this dude's rating, saying it's a decent season of magic and mayhem and then giving it a 7 is just contradictory. I'm not watching this. And so many other people watch it. I just thought I wanted to talk about it because it's very sad to see all this high fantasy stuff that could be cool, that could be the next Game of Thrones, failing and getting terrible reviews because they're focusing on the wrong stuff. They're ignoring what made it popular in the first place. They're trying to push out the target audience, which is young men. All men in general, honestly. That's not to say that women can't enjoy it. Take Game of Thrones for example. Its focus audience is men, but it was so good. It had such a good word of mouth that women and everyone else came in, watched it, and loved it. Game of Thrones did not go out of its way to make it sanitized for women or putting different like LGBTQ woke stuff on a pedestal. Obviously, you have that in the world of Game of Thrones because you have that in real world. But it has to reflect an actual believable world. Game of Thrones, you had gay characters. You had lots of gay characters. But it was okay because it wasn't pushed in your face all the time. It was okay because there was a variation. It wasn't black and white. It wasn't like hey, we have this white straight guy. He has to be the villain. No. It wasn't like, hey, this chick is a chick and a girl. She can't be bad. We have to make sure that we don't say anything bad about her. No, we had someone like Ciri. We had someone like the Red Witch. We had evil people who looked like there was variation. And it didn't matter what they looked like. They could have been good. They could have been evil. It was believable because Game of Thrones really was diverse. And it's not trying to be. It should never try to be. If you have a good and well-written world, that will come to pass regardless. That will come to pass regardless as you travel the world, as you go across the Red Sea to the Dothraki, to the free cities over on the other side. And then you got Westeros, which is more European. Something like Game of Thrones, that's why it was so popular, because it didn't piss off all the men, all the people who just want to watch it to see cool shit. And when you have the wrong people working on the job, it just, the point of it gets lost. And obviously, I could talk about this forever. I could talk about this all the time. I do want to make a longer, extensive video talking about, hey, what did happen to high fantasy in shows, in TV? Because we haven't gotten anything good since Game of Thrones, outside of the Game of Thrones world. So House of the Dragon, Season 1. Season 2 was pretty good. Season 1, though, was awesome. And I don't even want to talk about Season 8 of Game of Thrones. Oh my god, that ending was so stupid. It pissed me off for weeks. And then, yeah, we got the Hedge Knight coming out. But hey, what do they focus on? They focus on what made it popular in the first place. The Hedge Knight is going to focus on a tournament, on swordplay, on fighting, on the drama, not so much the politics as the regular Game of Thrones season, but the drama going on, the struggle going on. It's not, hey, let's fill a quota, let's check boxes to make sure that we are that we're adhering to all these diversity things that we need to do. And it just drives your show down. It drives your show down. And it's not just Liam Hemsworth's fault. It's not just Liam Hemsworth's fault. They just threw him onto a sinking ship and was like, here you go, buddy. Now, something like this, I'm not a huge Witcher guy. I'm sure someone who is more invested in The Witcher is going to take this a lot more seriously than me, is going to be a lot more upset by the direction that this has been going. And I think, yeah, that's why Henry Cavill kind of jumped ship. Because he's like, you guys don't listen to me. I actually care about this character. And you guys just want to make it your own. That's the biggest problem. Is that all these directors, all these people in charge of these shows think they're so smart and so much better than the original creators of this world. The creator that made it what it is today, that made it so popular. And then we got these narcissists who come in and think that their ideas is so much better than these geniuses who come up with these worlds, entire worlds in their head, and then are smart enough to portray that, to speak it into existence. And then we have narcissists coming in and think they're better. And then what's the result? This is the result. A sinking ship. And that's what The Witcher is. We have one more season of this coming out, and I'm not looking forward to what it's going to look like. That's all I have to talk about for The Witcher. What are your guys' thoughts? Do you think these ratings are harsh, or do you agree? Or is there anything else that I didn't mention that you feel is making this tank as much as it is? Oh, here we go. Top critic, 33% and 21%. It's not looking good for The Witcher. It's not looking good for Liam Hemsworth, and it's not looking good for the Witcher franchise as a whole. Yeah, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching this far into the video. And if you liked this, leave a like. So that's all I really have to say. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.